Test 1, 2, test 1, 2, testing 1, 2. I think it's working. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Hey, there we go. Get a few people jumping in. Can you guys hear me? Just using my laptop and my webcam here in my hotel. Let's see. Todd Flowers, what's going on, brother? Gary Holt. Let me know if you can hear me. I know you can see me because I can see myself here with this thing. And I'll turn up my volume. Just using my laptop. Yeah. Cool. Cool. I can hear that. Let me pause that. I don't need that going. I'll put that there so I can see the chat, hopefully, without making too much noise. Yeah, it's not going to work. Anyway, I'll just hold it. Anyway, just wanted to jump on for maybe a quick 20 minutes or half hour stream. I haven't streamed live for, well over a week now. And it's last day in Nashville, so leaving tomorrow morning. So today we're just going to go out and explore a little bit more, maybe hang out on Broadway a little bit and listen to some bands. And yeah. It's been a crazy week. Can't wait to share the experience with everybody. I didn't really go live from here. I was live on Guitar Hack's channel with Brian Stewart and stuff, which was a blast. But I just kind of shot some video and some pictures and got everything in the hard drive last night and started to post a few things last night. And when I get back, I'll sort everything and figure it out from there, because there's a ton of content, and I don't want to duplicate what others have done already. I don't see any sense in that. So once I get everything sorted out, I'll start to post some of that. Jamal, what's going on? Janice, how are you? Got a few of you in here already. I'm using Google Hangouts. I usually don't use this Google Hangouts to stream. Obviously, I use my studio at home, so I use a different system, but this seems to be working. And the Wi-Fi here at the hotel seems to be pretty good. I mean, it's not the best, but it works. So I hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's hot as hell over here, that's for sure. Today it's looks a little bit cloudy, might have some rain later, so might limit some of the stuff that we would do if we're doing stuff outside, but we'll make it work. Charles Green, what's going on? Well, yeah, yesterday was the last day for NAMM. I wasn't going to really attend NAMM yesterday because I did Thursday, Friday, and then yesterday was a public day. So I figured, there wasn't much. We didn't have much plans. Hold on, we got a knock on the door, and I think it's the housekeeping people. So they'll come back later. Hold on. And so. My wife didn't have a chance to see NAMM, so yesterday I was able to get her a pass, and we went and did some stuff. I met up with, it's cool that I went yesterday because I actually got to meet the Tone King and have a good conversation with him and his buddy True Shack, and that was fun. And who else did I meet yesterday? Billy Sheehan, which was awesome. One of my favorite bass players growing up, and he's standing right there in front of me in the Line 6 booth, so I got the chance to see him, and I took a quick video and a picture, so that was kind of cool. Hey, Bam Mozzie's in here. And what else did we see yesterday? Obviously I spent a lot of time with Gibson this week, so at the Gibson booth, and met Al John, the Epiphone rep, which was super nice guy. He's the guy that gave us the invites for the big Gibson show or Gibson VIP event that happened on Thursday night, which was absolutely amazing. I can't say enough good things about that. So I got a chance to say thanks and speak to him. And he was I guess Gibson has a band that they put together with just the employees and stuff, and they do, some jams and stuff, and they played at the main stage here at NAMM yesterday for about 40 minutes or so. So I was able to capture the whole set, and do a video of it. And get a few pictures, and I sent that off to him, and I posted some stuff on Facebook with that, which was kind of fun. And I was right in the front there taking the video, and he was very appreciative of that. So it was my pleasure to do that for him after everything that they've done for me this week. Like I said, super accommodating. One thing I noticed with NAMM, especially like at the show, they had definitely the biggest booth there, and it's so different, the atmosphere there. They had, performers. They had workstations where they showed you, specific things, how they build their guitars right there at the show. Like the guy was doing, wrapping the binding and, setting up the guitars. And one guy was actually doing hand carving of the wood. So really impressive, booth. And the other thing I really liked about it was the vibe of the booth was very open, and, you could try any guitar you wanted. It didn't matter if it was a custom shop or whatever. You could pick it up off the wall and sit there and play it without any issues, as opposed to Fender, where it just seemed so stale in there. There was nothing. Everything was on the walls. Couldn't really pick up anything and play. All the custom shop stuff was all roped off. So very different atmosphere and different vibe to it. And not that I don't like Fender as a company or anything like that. It just, to me, my personality and the way that I like to be, and is the Gibson brand really captured all of that for me as far as that experience. Fender just seemed blah to me. Not that they don't make good instruments, but again, just my opinion. Hey, Guitar Hacks in here. How's it going? I hope you're having a good trip back, a long drive. I can imagine. I've done these long drives before when we go to New Brunswick from Toronto. It's about a 12-hour, 13-hour drive, and by the time we get to our destination, we're pretty beat. But yeah, so I hope everything goes well for you. It was awesome to hang out with Guitar Hack and Brian Stewart, and we met Matt Harrison and met tons of other YouTubers like Phil McKnight. Steve from Boston was super cool. Like I said, I met the Tone King yesterday, which this guy we had a good 20-25 minute conversation, and it was like I knew the guy forever, and he was super nice. He asked me to contact him after the show through email, and he was going to, maybe jump on the show someday and talk shop. And so, yeah, it was really cool. And I mentioned to him that I'd won a contest on his show. That's how he remembered my name, because he had sent me some pics through the mail because I had won that. And I said, do you remember how I won it? It was because he was having that live jam with his buddy in his basement there, where they were recording a song or something. And I had mentioned, he had said, what am I missing here? Like, what is the thing that I need the most in my studio? And I said, a cowbell. And that was what won me. I actually won a shirt, but he didn't have my size, so he sent me a bunch of pics. It was really nice, because I told him, don't send me anything. It's no problem at all. But he wanted to send me some pics. So that was a cool conversation, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. Let me see who else is in the chat here. We've got Nocturnal. How's it going? Sexy legs. And my legs are done. I've done so much walking this week. It's incredible. My watch has that exercise thing on it, and it kept beeping, you've reached your goal or your limit or whatever. And but yeah, I'm doing well. I'm not I am tired, but I'm not, completely zonked, and I've still got a little bit of energy for today to go out and do some more exploring. And I'm not really sure what's on the agenda today. I think, we're not sure if we're going to get more rain and stuff, so you don't want to get caught out there without, having somewhere to go. So we might do a little tour of Nashville. I want to go to the Ryman. They have these daily tours where you can tour the backstage and stuff. And hey, you never know, you might run into Joe Bonamassa again, which was insane this week to run into him a few times. And I always tell my wife that I should make a video and a meme where we're just kind of walking into these different situations here at NAMM, and always have a little picture of Joe Bonamassa's head next to us, and because he seemed to be everywhere we were going, which was absolutely crazy to me. Let me just check with the chat here and see if any from the vids. Bam says, from the vids, Fender wasn't very accommodating where Gibson was open. Yeah, it's a totally different vibe as far as Fender and Gibson to me. And if that's the way that other people are getting it, I don't think it's, vendors should really change that if they really want to appeal to a larger audience. And musicians in general are very creative. Like, they're different mindsets, so they're not into that, corporate feel. And that's really what I felt like. It did nothing for me emotionally walking into the Fender booth, which I walked in once, I think, and did a loop, and then I was the rest of the week I didn't even look at it. So yeah, it makes a big difference. And again, Gibson to me stole that show as far as the experience, how they were set up there, how you could try everything. And even like top management was walking around, like the CEO was walking around the booth, and you could go right up to him and talk to him, and he'll answer any questions. And these guys are super nice. I'll have more stories and experiences and stuff when I get back. And I don't know if I'll be able to go live. I usually go live on Monday nights at 7. Tomorrow we're flying back. I think we leave, I think it's 10:30 tomorrow morning. But by the time we get back to Toronto, get our baggage and everything, we're right in the middle of rush hour. So I probably won't get home in time to do my regular 7 o'clock show tomorrow night. But I think Guitar Hack is having a show on Tuesday at 7. And I might be jumping in on that. And then I think we're all going to discuss our NAMM and Nashville experience on that show. So, because there's a lot of stuff I can't cover in, 30 minutes. But yeah, the custom shop tour for me was really cool. And to meet these people and speak with them, you really get a sense that they really care about what they're doing. And there's a different vibe there. I was talking to some of the employees just off to the side and just kind of saying, they were saying it was a very dire time for a while there as far as how they felt going to work. And it was, a down mood. And now over the last 18 months, they said it's been a complete turnaround there as far as the culture. People are happy to go to work. People are, getting a lot more respect for what they do in their job, and they're getting recognition from the top management. So I think that that's a good thing. The other thing people have to see with Gibson is with all the stories that are going on, with this one suing this one, and this stuff is always happening. That's a corporate thing. That's corporate offices, that's shareholders, and that's what drives that stuff. The people that are building these guitars and everyday people here that we've met have nothing to do with that, and it doesn't reflect on the instrument at all. When you see what goes into building some of these guitars, it's absolutely, mind-blowing, and you get a sense to why these things cost what they do, because, man, every little detail. And it's so nice, the people there would, stop whatever they were doing and talk and explain the process that they were doing, tell us, what was, their background and how long they've been doing it. And, you really got a sense for the company. So a lot of cool stories there, and I will go into a little bit more detail. I wasn't able to take video at that shop, and I asked for photos as well, and the guy said, no, I don't think you can as well. So I didn't push that. I was just so happy to just be there and have the experience. I didn't want to, say, oh, well, I want to take photos. And I didn't push any of that, because we just walked in there with an email from Al John and me and my wife were like, yeah, we're here for this tour. And the guy had no clue that this was happening right there at that time. And he looked at the email and said, yeah, okay, well, I'll give you a tour. And just me and my wife and this guy walked around this whole factory, and it was a pretty amazing experience. All right, let me go back into the chat here. See you guys saying hi to each other. Brian Stewart's in here. How's it going? And yeah, Brian was awesome. Brian Stewart is an awesome dude. I really had a great time with him. Both me and my wife said, this guy's got a great, personality, and very fun dude to be with. So I'm very happy I got to meet him and hang out, and I look forward to doing it again soon, brother. So both him and Hack, we had a great time. My wife was even commenting. We did a live stream from Brian Stewart's car outside of Carter's, and she watched it the other day, and she said, you guys should start your own show, the three of you, like the two Brians and a Hack or something like that, she said. And it would be an entertaining time between the three personalities. Like, we're very different personalities, but together we, everything that was really cool and jived well together. So yeah, you never know. That could happen. Let's see, Charles Green, I said hi to him. Henrik Viking, how are you? Joe, it's me. Yeah, and when we walked out of Grunes, I remember that. We walk out of Grunes, and I'm just looking, I think I'm looking at my phone or something as we're walking out. And Brian Stewart's walking right in front of me, and he says, "Hey, Joe." And I thought, "Oh, you must have seen somebody new." I look up, it's Joe Bonamassa coming, stepping out of a pickup truck with his buddy or something, and he's going into Grunes as we're walking in, and I'm like, "This is surreal." It was really cool. Brian Stewart says, "I wanted that Billy Gibbons cardboard cutout. We could have Billy. We could have took Billy everywhere next year." Yeah, we'll have to figure something out next year for sure. We might go back to, I think Carter's is open today. Me and my wife, we're just around the corner from there. So if we're walking over to Broadway, what we might do is just walk over there and have another loop around there and have a, just so she could see it as well, because she likes to see these stores. So might do that. And we're thinking of maybe doing, there's a bus type of tour where you get on this trolley bus or whatever, and they take you all around Nashville. There's a guy saying what these places, and you can get off at any point and go visit that thing or whatever he's talking about or whatever site he's on. And then you can tour that and take pictures. And there's always a new bus that comes by every 15 minutes or something. So you just jump on that. I think it costs like 20 or $30 per person to do that. So, but it just depends if it's raining or whatever. I'm just going to play it by ear. If not, like, we might just hang out on Broadway and just watch a bunch of bands and have a beer or something. So, let's see. Jamal says, "I think Gibson is the position is the position of winning the hearts and minds of people, whereas Fender really hasn't had any controversy lately. So I feel they don't have to go the extra mile." Yeah, it's possible, but they're missing a huge opportunity. Once you people disconnect with your brand as far as the emotional connection you have with them and how they make you feel and stuff, it's hard to get that back unless you really do a complete 180. And it's just the vibe that I got anyway. And I'm wearing a Fender shirt. I'm not saying that Fender are bad or anything. I'm just saying the experience I had was totally different in the Gibson booth. Let's see. Todd says that happened to me with Willie G. Davidson at Daytona last year. Ran in. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. That's somebody I never met, and I'd love to meet. Being a big Harley Davidson guy, that'd be pretty cool to see. Guitar X says, "You want to do a wrap-up show?" Yeah, definitely we'll do that. We'll just send me the link on Tuesday, and I'll jump in with you guys, and we can do a NAMM wrap-up and tell some stories. There's plenty of them, that's for sure. Gibson owned it. Yes, yeah, I agree, Brian Stewart. Gibson needed to have a great show after the Play Authentic. And the funny thing, I think Brian Stewart actually, on the first day, he was talking with Mark Agnesi, and he said, "I like the video, by the way." And I think they had a good laugh on that one. But Mark Agnesi is a really nice guy. I had a chance to see him as well, and nothing but great things. And he was walking that booth, no problem, talking to anybody that wanted to talk to him. If you needed some information or you wanted to discuss something, he was there. There was no barriers at all for any of these people, so which was a cool experience. Custom shop employees were proud to work there. You could feel it. Yeah, you really could. Some of these people have been working there for 40 years. The guy that gave us the tour, I think it's the same guy that gave Guitar Hack and Brian Stewart the tour, was there for something like 45 years. And some of the guys that were doing the buffing of the guitars, which was an incredible process to see. I think they were there 25, 30 years. So, there's something to be said about that when a company does that. And I don't know, it was very eye-opening as far as the work that goes into this stuff. And a lot of it is handmade. Like, they do have a CNC machine and they cut, the bodies and things of that nature. But when it comes down to the fine details and doing some stuff with the necks, and, there's a lot of stuff that goes in. And I went into the relic part where they show you how they do the actual relicking. And that process even blew me away, that they take little razor blades and all these little fine lines, and there's so much detail that goes into how they do that. They just don't take a guitar drag it down the street or something and call it a relic. It's really not like that. And the type of, paints and stuff they use to make it, because the stuff's got to last for many years, obviously. So it's really cool. If you ever get a chance to get down here and you have a chance to do one of these tours, I highly recommend it, because, if you're into guitars and you're into, how they build them and the process and talking to the actual people, I think it's really worth it. For me, anyway, it was. Smash that like button. Yeah, thanks, Nocturnal. Hope that and I want to say a big thank you to Eric from EVH Gear TV. He's the one that made a connection for me to meet Al John and to get the passes to actually go to the Gibson party and to do the custom shop tour. I could have went to tour the Epiphone plant and the Gibson USA plant, which is they're different. They're three different plants. But after we did the custom shop one, I thought, okay, this is probably the peak as far as. But apparently the other plants are really beautiful as well. I just, there's only so much hours in the day, and we did that, and we had some other stuff planned on that day. We were going to the Grand Ole Opry that night, and we did a tour of that, which is a whole other story I'll keep for another time. But so we just did the custom shop. But I think next time I'm here, and I do plan on coming back because I really love this place. I think it's got a great vibe. The music scene is amazing. So next time, if I can organize it, I will go check out the other plants as well. But yeah, thanks a lot to Eric from EVH, and the guy, stellar guy. I mean, I only met Eric I met him in person back in February, I think, when we all went to Cosmo Music and hung out and tried some guitars, Guitar Hack, myself and him. And I knew him from his channel and through the chats and stuff. And since then, we've been, good friends, and we've contacted and shared all kinds of things. And he's been nothing but, great to me. And I, if I can return that favor in any way, just let me know, Eric. I'll do anything for you. So really appreciate it. Stand-up people like that, you have, when you have those people in your life, it makes a big difference overall, right? So find those friends, folks. And, let me see. Just going through the chat here. So where was NAMM held? The name of that place? NAMM was held it's Nashville. It's right across the street from my hotel. They have this big convention center. I think it's called Country Music or Music something, any center. And it's basically a big convention center. I think it's fairly new. They built it just a few years ago. And yeah, it's just a regular convention, but it's really nice. The building the architecture is awesome. And they have it, I think they're having it here again next year. As far as Summer NAMM, I think this is where they do it all the time now. So, but it's not a big show. I think, people think NAMM, they think of the January show where it's huge. And I've been to a show in Vegas where for video production that I go to every April, and that's held at Vegas, and they take over the whole convention center, a couple of hotels, everything. And that is massive. And I think it's very similar to what NAMM is in January in California. This one is a very much smaller type of event, but it's still pretty good. Like I quite enjoyed it. I had a chance to see everything and to actually talk to people and take the time. I think in January, if I would end up going to that one, I would really have to plan out before and say, these are the things I want to do, and these are the things I want to see, and people I want to talk to. Whereas this one, I was able to just kind of, go in and get a feel of everything the first couple hours, and then focus in on the things I wanted to see and the people I wanted to talk to, which was good. But I think if you're going into a bigger show like the one in January, you've got to plan it well ahead and say, here's my agenda for the day, and you follow that agenda. Otherwise, you're going to miss a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Going through real quick, and hopefully I don't miss anybody. Rick Hefner, how are you? Get a bunch of people in here already. That's awesome. Brian Stewart says we ran into Joe B again that night. Yeah, I saw that live stream and I was laughing so hard. I couldn't believe he was sitting there again. He walks in and sits right next to you guys. Yeah, it would have been cool if you would have jumped on live and you guys could have did a little interview together. But yeah, you don't really want to bother these people when they're out and doing their own thing. And, you can say hi and, whatever, but you don't want to impose too much on them. I know I never want to do that. Even, when I see somebody that's famous or whatever, I saw Billy Sheehan yesterday and I just wanted a few seconds and that was fine. I didn't want to impose more time on anybody. Dan of New Jersey, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, it's what is it? It's 10:52 here in Nashville. So it's still early. We got up and went for breakfast. We go to breakfast downstairs, and yeah, it's been a good week here. The hotel has been fine. It's a pretty cool place. We didn't go to the pool. There's a indoor pool. On the first day we were here, I went there and it's not heated. And I was like, holy shit, this thing is cold. So I didn't stay. There's a rooftop pool, but we haven't been there because it's so busy a whole week. And I think it gets pretty crazy up there too, like as far as busy with people. So we didn't do that. Let's see. Joe Hervey 84. How's it going? No one went to jail, so that was good. Yeah. But I think if we would have been given another few nights of craziness, you never know. We went out to Kid Rock's bar one night when after the Gibson event, Guitar Hack, myself, and Brian Stewart, his wife, my wife, and we all walked down Broadway, and then we ended up at Kid Rock's bar, which is an amazing bar. I mean, when you see that setup, it's like, wow, yeah. He did that up right as far as the stage and the sound. And we were only on the first two levels, which takes up a pretty big spot. But there's two other levels on top of that building where they have other bands playing, and it's another bar altogether. So it's quite impressive to see that. And it was packed. And I've been here since Monday, last Monday. And we went out on Monday as well down Broadway and at that bar, and it was packed like that on a Monday. So, and I think it was it yesterday? What was yesterday said? No, we went out on Friday night, just walking a little bit on Broadway, and it played. Every bar was packed. Broadway Street was completely packed. So we didn't go into any bars. We just kind of hung out a little bit and listened to the bands from outside. But yeah, these guys, Nashville is definitely a happening place as far as business. And apparently there's a lot of jobs here. People are just, hiring people. They're saying they're having trouble hiring people because it's growing so fast. There's a lot of construction, a lot of building. So yeah, I think they're overwhelmed, I think, with even infrastructure because there's a lot of traffic too, because when you all of a sudden get a bunch of people moving to your city and you don't have the infrastructure in place, you run into, we know what it's like in Toronto. We get so many people that come to Toronto every year and it's just a freaking nightmare to get around traffic. So, but that's what happens. Okay. Like Mozzie said, Brian, it's not a show for musicians to go try out all the gear. No, but I mean, you can, but even if you were there to try out all the gear, you can do that, but you're not going to get a sense of how something, like I picked up a bunch of acoustic guitars and because I'm looking for maybe getting an acoustic again. And I tried the new Gibson acoustics. I tried Martins. I tried Guilds. I tried all these things. But when you're sitting there strumming an acoustic, I was really just getting a feel for the neck and stuff. The sound of it, I couldn't really hear it that well because everything that's going on in there, right? It's just there's a lot, so it's not really a place you're going to test out an instrument, but you can look at them, pick them up, feel the neck, and see how heavy they are, or so forth, and ask questions of the reps and all that stuff. So it's really a show for music stores and manufacturers to get together and to make deals. But there is a day that's open to public, and it was pretty busy yesterday with a lot of people just coming out, checking out, and other musicians, and so it's pretty cool. Flowers, I saw you. Marsman, how's it going? Yeah, we had a great time, Marsman. Really cool. I wish we could have went to the Songbird museum thing that we had spoken about, where there's a huge guitar collection there, and we were invited to go there and try out guitars and film and everything. But it's about 3 hours away, and the schedule just didn't allow for it for us. And even if we wanted to do that today, we'd have to basically take an Uber or something. And you're not going to do that for a 3-hour drive or whatever. So maybe next time. We've got the contact of the guy, which Brian Stewart helped us get. I don't know. He just ran into this guy, started talking to him, and all of a sudden, me and Hack are out there talking to him. And he's like, "Yeah, come on by, and you can film, you can do this, you can try anything you want. And, open invitation. We just want to get more promotion for our place." So you never know. Maybe someday we'll just plan a weekend trip, and if we can make it happen, we'll go there and spend a weekend and explore and try all these cool guitars. And yes, I did say guitars a lot this week, and nobody questioned me. So sorry. I guess they say that down here as well. Let's see. Janice Lawless says, I was a factory worker. You would not believe some things I did. I understand completely. Yeah, that factory was really impressive to me anyway. Brian and I were chatting with Joe B at this. I know, right? Guitar Hack. It's kind of surreal when you're going through that experience. Let's see. I'm just going through the chat really quick here, so sorry if I'm missing anything. I'm just going to be on for another 10 minutes or so, and then we're going to head out. My wife and I. She doesn't want to be on camera. She's sitting over there looking at her iPhone. You should plug that iPhone in there. You're going to run out of battery. And she did a great job yesterday. She held the camera for me while I did some stuff at NAMM and tried some gear and did a couple of little small interviews with some people. And this guitar manufacturer that had these acoustic guitars that they're like travel guitars where you can take the neck off and all that stuff. Really cool people to talk to. And I went there because they had a motorcycle in their booth, an Indian motorcycle with big saddlebags on it, and they were able to put the guitar in the saddlebag and everything. So that caught my attention, obviously being a motorcycle guy. So I went there and they were, wanted to talk to me. They gave me I talked to the owner of the company. He gave me his card. He's going to check out the YouTube channel and my Facebook and all that stuff. And I guess he wants to work with me. He wants to get the word out there. And I tried the guitars and they're amazing. They played like when you just put the neck on and everything is solid and they sounded really good. So you never know. I might, work with this guy and he might send me a few things that I can demo on the channel and show you guys. So that was kind of cool. Let's see if I can see this chat a little better here. Brian Stewart says, I was there as media. Yeah, I couldn't touch the fenders either. So how can I put out a video on something I can't touch? I know, right? I didn't understand that whole fender thing. But Nocturnal says next year road trip. Yeah. Oh, we got another knock on the door here. So I think they want to come and clean our room.
You can check that. Sorry, you can check it out. No, not tomorrow. You didn't think what you made about?
Hold on.
No, it's good. Great day.
Oh, there we go. I think they want to clean our room soon. Okay, so what was I saying? Nocturnal. Oh yeah, next year they're doing a road trip. So looks like we might be doing something next year again, which would be awesome. Let's see. Going through here, we've got. Did I see Phil? Oh, Phil Mosley's in here. How is it going, Phil? Kefner, I saw you. I'm just going through the chat. I might have missed some comments here, so I'm sorry. Just kind of going through real quick on my iPad, trying to follow the chat. It's a little hard. Joe B is my new best friend. Yeah, my new best friend is a Tone King. Just sitting there talking to him. It was like we knew each other for years. Brian Stewart. I said, Joe, you want to sit with us? He was like, no, I'm good. Oh, Brian Stewart's a character. It's awesome to hang out with him. Yeah, he was probably getting Joe Bonamassa was probably getting worried at that point, having run into to us for all day, and then he sees you two sitting right next to him. He's probably going, "What is going on right now? I gotta get away from these people." I might run into him again today because like I said, we're going to probably go to a guitar store or something, maybe just to visit. If not, we're thinking of doing the Ryman tour, which he's playing tomorrow night at. So he might be hanging around there backstage doing stuff. I don't know. So imagine if I run into him again. So I was telling my wife, if we do the tour and he's got his setup on stage, I'm gonna go up, ask him if I can play his guitar through his setup on the Ryman stage. That would be the topper of the whole week, and I think I would be done after that. But I don't know if that's going to happen. And we saw 159 Les Paul. It was at what was that store called? Rumblefish or Rumble something. And yeah, it was 275 grand. So obviously we didn't touch that one. It was in a glass case, and rightly so. I don't think I would have felt comfortable picking that one up. What else I saw somebody else in here. Dale Palmer, how are you, Dale? I got stuck by the same damn train today, 2 days in a row. Framus was amazing. Yeah, Framus does make some amazing guitars, that's for sure. I played a couple of them. I think Brian Stewart has a video of me playing one of them. I think it's a Pantera they call it or something. But yeah, they make some awesome instruments. The level of detail that goes into these things was truly amazing. So yeah, nothing but good things to say about frame and stuff, but they are expensive, that's for sure. If I was going to spend that type of money, I guess I would still, well, for me anyway, I'm looking for an R6 right now, and that's where I'd prefer to put, if I was buying a new guitar today, that's where the money would go, would be to the R6. That's what I connect to the most is those types of guitars, Les Pauls, Strats, or Tele types of traditional things. I appreciate the workmanship that goes into some of these boutique builders and people like Framus and PRS and everything. I really do. It's just I don't have that connection to them when when I'm playing or when I walk into a room and I see one or whatever. It's not the same. If you put a Les Paul side by side with a PRS, I appreciate the PRS a lot, but I'd be drawn to go pick up the Les Paul first, and that's an individual thing. Everybody's got their own thing, right? What you connect to and what you like. It's your style. It's your what makes us unique, I guess. Framus was cool. Kiesel had nice stuff too. Yeah, I played a few of the Kiesel ones with you guys. I think some of the stuff I wasn't really didn't do anything for me. The one I picked up that I think Brian Stewart put in my hands, he said, try this one. It had a really nice neck on it. So yeah, they make some nice stuff. But again, it's not something that I would purchase. I would rather go and buy another Les Paul or an SG or even the 335s I haven't really played that much, and I did this week, and we tried that $35,000 one that was at Carter's, and that played really nice, and I had something I never really was drawn to that much, but I was really impressed with how that played. Okay, Showman, how are you? Showman Blues. Well, I'm still alive. I guess that's a good thing. I'm tired, but and I got to get back tomorrow. We fly back, so like I said, we're going to land in Toronto, get our baggage and everything. By the time we get our car and stuff, we're going to be in the middle of rush hour, so it'll be a little bit of a while before I get home. Then I got to get home, unpack, and get some stuff sorted out because I got to go to work the next day. So on Tuesday morning, so it's going to be a little bit hectic tomorrow. So I'll try to go live tomorrow night, but I seriously doubt that I'll make it per schedule. So, but I will go live with Guitar Hack and Brian Stewart on Tuesday. So that's all good. And then during the week, I think I'll try to do a show on maybe Thursday afternoon or Friday afternoon or so. Or Friday, Guitar Hack is coming over to my house. and we're going to spend the day there, and we're going to play some gear and I'll show them the helix and whatever else we do, and then we might turn on the camera and just go live from my house together as well, and discuss some stuff there as well. So there'll be live shows next week that we'll be doing, that I'll be part of, and I'll do my own as well. Songbird is awesome. Been there twice, Marsman says. Yeah, I definitely want to get that. That's on the bucket list for sure. Guitar Hack says maybe do Songbird next year. Yeah, I think we should. Guitar Hack, I think we should. Todd Flowers says I like motorcycles. All right, I'm just gonna quickly go through here. Lars Guitars, how are you? Nice to see you. Dave R's Guitar, how are you? Hope you're doing well out there in the Arizona desert. So, yeah, I won't go into too many more stories about NAMM right now. I'll save that for when we do our shows next week, and there'll be lots of that. So definitely everybody tune into those shows. Like I said, Guitar Hack show on 7 o'clock on Tuesday. And if you see me go live, jump in, and I'll have, because I want to show you guys some pictures and things of that nature. I'm not set up to do that here, obviously. So, and then I'll be editing a lot of the video footage I took to put together some small pieces, and, you'll see that pop up. I have the full set of the Gibson employee band, and I did put up one clip, but I don't know if I should put the whole set up on Facebook or on YouTube here. So I might check with Al John first before doing that if he wants. I sent him the file, so he has it, so he might want to put it on his own channel or something. So we'll see about that. But it was a cool experience. Those guys really had a blast up there, and they were, I had to see the CEO of Gibson and the COO, I think, the other guy that's I think is Cesar, his name is, both one right next to me both times I was filming the whole thing. It was insane. These guys are just in front of me, just headbanging and cheering, and it was like a family atmosphere there. Everybody was, all the Gibson employees were out in the audience, and pretty cool. All right. Oh well, Brian, you did pretty good. Yeah, thank you. Nope, nobody said anything when I was saying guitars, and I said it a lot this week, so I think it's a normal thing. So I'm going to keep saying it. Sorry. Okay. Don't worry about going live after a long day of traveling. Yeah, no, I'll probably pass on that, I think. Hack. Yep, alive. It's always good. Best to kick back a little today, do some enjoyable meals, and check out. Yeah, today is just a relaxed day. Do whatever comes up, go walk around, stop in, get a bite to eat later, maybe have a beer or two, and call it a week. It's been amazing week, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's been really cool, and I'm glad that I was able to experience it, and glad that Guitar Hack and Brian Stewart and some of the guys that I met down here were able to be with me and to do this. My wife was amazing all week. She was Thursday and Friday, I was gone all day, and she did her own thing. She went out shopping and walking around and exploring by herself, and she was totally cool. She said, go for it. This is your thing. And yesterday she hung out with me all day, and we did the NAMM thing. She shot, she held the camera to shoot video and stuff. So big thanks to her. She was really cool. It was nice to have her on this trip with me. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to call it. It is 12:11 Eastern. I don't know, it's 11, just past 11 here in Nashville. And I will say thank you to you guys for joining me this morning. Just wanted to do a quick live stream to give you a quick update of where things are. And like I said, next week we'll be putting out some more content. I'll be on a couple of shows with Guitar Hack, and I'll do my own, and we'll go live probably from my house on Friday afternoon or something. Guitar Hack will be at my house, and he's going to play the R9 and the Helix. So, he'll be even more It'll be. He tried an R9 here and he was in love with it. So when he gets to play mine, it'll be probably the same thing. And I just want to maybe go through the Helix with him because I know he doesn't really play with that stuff a lot. So if I can sit down with him and say, this is how it works. And, it might not be for him or anybody else that tries a Helix. It's just, here's the way I use it and it's pretty cool. And that's it. It's an option down the road if anybody wants to do that. And then that afternoon, we might go live and just, do what we're doing here and chat with you guys and show you something. If you want to see something in my studio, if I have it there, I'm always willing to share and show it to you. Dale Palmer says, since you said guitar, why didn't you guys wear big belt buckles? Cowboy? I know. Well, the belt buckle thing would have been weird because we were always trying guitars and stuff. So I don't think that having a big belt buckle would have worked well, trying some of these real expensive ones. But yeah, I was thinking of getting a cowboy hat, but I don't know. It wasn't me. Maybe someday, maybe. Never know. Ivan Carter, nice to see you. Thank you. Yeah, we'll have a nice day. And Nocturnal and Guitar Hack, everybody. Thanks for jumping in. Guitar Hack, have a safe drive home. Be careful. Say hi to the missus for us. It was great hanging out with her as well. It's great meeting everybody for the first time and getting out and doing some socializing in person. And this is cool too when we do online and do the YouTube live chats and stuff, but it's always nice to see everybody. And what's cool about it is, I've never met Brian Stewart other than these chats, and we met up and it was like we knew each other for years almost, just because of the interaction we have with the community here. And I'm sure it would be the same if I met any other person that is in the community in real life. It would be like when we met Matt Harrison and all these other YouTubers. It was like them because of what we do here on YouTube, and what we do through the chat and the community is really cool. So that was a great experience. I think that was really one of the big highlights for me, was hanging out with all these people. All right, folks, I will call it a day, and I will go out now and see what kind of trouble I can get into for the last day in Nashville. And if you and the wife says woohoo, so if I call any one of you, if I have your number from jail, you know what to do. All right, so we will talk to you soon. Take care, folks.